Today I want to speak briefly about sexuality. It's a brief talk because I want to send you a longer clip and you can send me your WhatsApp for that. I am Dr. Lalith Mendis. So sexuality has become a strong force in the world, and much deviation, even violence, can be involved in sexuality. And when it drives the sex industry, we know that it's a very perverting force, very strong force. What did God mean by sexuality? When He created Adam and Eve, He said in His image He created male, in His image He created female, which means the part of God that Adam got and the part of God Eve got must come together. So Genesis 1:28 says that character part. Genesis 1:28 says God blessed them, put them together, that she will contribute what she has to, he will contribute what he has to, and then be fruitful, then multiply. So this is also about fruit of reproduction and children. Certainly, that was the primary purpose of sexuality. But there are complementary purposes that are also very important. So fruitful, multiply. This is not only to multiply progeny, multiply your influence, multiply what God has given you. This will happen only when the two who ought to get together, then the full potential will come. So any successful man or any successful woman, whatever brought her success, knowledge, power, social status, beauty, or money, whatever their understanding of success is, will come to a point of emptiness because there's a vacuum in your inside that says, I need filling. That vacuum is the better part in you, the other part in you, other half in you. In fact, it's the better half. Whether you're man or woman, there's another part in you waiting there, whom you will meet in your life journey at that season of time, that you know that to be filled and fulfilled, that's the third part, be fruitful, multiply, fill and fulfill, you need this other half to be connected to you. And this is not a casual thing, this is a lifelong relationship. So if you get together and do sex, before you commit in covenant lifelong never to depart, that act of sexuality, that act of physical sex is such a driving force, such an attraction and stimulation, you will think that is there to it, that's all there to it, and you will look for more fantastic, more stimulating, even more deviant forms of that kind of satisfaction. So at the outset, my plea is, you need to know that God meant you, male, and you, female, man and woman, to make the covenant of lifelong relationship of trust, fidelity, loyalty, caring for each other, giving the other the best, that you are to excel in that and make the covenant, to tie the knot, sign upon the dotted line, then to meet physically, because that physical stimulation of sex life is only the icing on the cake, or is only a cementing, very powerful experience. You must not enter into the powerful experience of physical sex life before making the lifelong committal of covenant. So you have to say with me, lifelong committal of covenant before the consuming aspect of physical sex hits you. And then there is a stewardship of raising up the next generation, and in your marriage, father and mother, you will always role model and propose to the next generation that marriage is best. Man being alone is not good, said the Lord. God at the beginning said there is a aloneness, a loneliness, and an unpairedness, and a certain measure of not being right unless you get together, or to be fulfilled, get together. This is what God has for you. So please think about this, because God in His wisdom has given you. So this will involve your stewardship and two agreeing together for authenticity and authority, discovering each other. And it's an exploration, it's a journey. And romance is the beginning, marriage is the covenant, and then you continue on the journey. And the physical part of getting together must remain for that covenant night after marriage, attested by parents, relatives, friends, and certainly sometimes a priest. So oft times a priest. So this is, and the law of the land also expects that. Then you enter into a time when what is low in you, she helps to fill up, and you fill up that which is low in her, and she fills up what is low in you. Then together that which is high and lofty in you, rude and whatever, she helps you to humble and you help her to humble. So low things are filled up, high things are brought low, crooked things are made straight, and the obstructed things are freed and opened up for more of life, opportunity and potential. Together you realize it. So sexuality is not merely the physical difference, two physically different people getting together. It's also two people meant for each other, finding the better half and doing life together, as two better halves are better than one. This is God's understanding of sexuality and what He has invested in man and woman. Then the husband and wife lay the foundation, being mother and father. But for mother and father to be effective foundation, you must continue to be inputting to each other, receiving and giving as husband and wife. You can't say we have now a new contract of being father and mother, new contract of 3 children, their schooling, sports activities, extracurricular activities, their greatness, their achievement. That's not the way to go about it. You also attend on an improving relationship, giving to each other the best you have, lifelong. And then into sexuality, many other deviations have come. So man has denied XX, XY, the genetic gender, and trying to do other kinds of genders which will not work, which is anti-God also. Also the best part of your definitive definition and identity, you are scrambling when you deny your biological sex. So Professor of John Hopkins, he said that gay is not genetics but a choice people make. So don't go that way. God has already said don't. You hurt your most basic identity of sexuality when you try to distract, deviate from what God has designed you for. Then just an example of how important it is, if girls get into sexual activity too early, before their vagina forms the proper epithelium, they can get herpes virus infection. Now what must we tell them? Abstinence before coming together in marriage. Okay, you can go. Abstinence before coming together in marriage. But if you when people, what has happened is vaccine is provided to prevent infection if you get into that activity before time. But at the age of 18, the epithelium is stronger. So you can see what has happened is even in school going age, that vaccine is given, anticipating they will do the wrong thing, which is not a good idea. Even with boys it is so. We have a thing called the prostate gland, and premature sexual activity and viruses growing there later produces before age prostatic cancer. That's just a severe warning why the abuse of this was not what God meant it for. So remember, sexuality is a complementation of personality, life pursuits, plus the physical aspect of sexual life. And another little concern is when women reach their menopause, they lose interest because their hormone levels are going down. They lose interest in physical sex, but man's testosterone keeps high for a long, long time. So they must come to an understanding for husband to be patient, wife to be considerate, how they share their physical life together. So what you model at home, your daughter sees and son sees, and they choose marriage also. Increasingly, successful young women think marriage is not necessary. So sex becomes a consumerist, on-demand thing. I can have it anyway, even without marriage, which is wrong. Secondly, the successful men also think it's a hassle. Without any committal, I can have the physical consumerism of sex. why should I commit? But in committing, you receive the best of your sexuality and fulfillment of your God's scope. Remember, out there is your better half, and life is best with her. Remember, out there is your better half. Life is best with him. Shall we settle for that? I'm Dr. Lalith Mendis. If you like to have some more clips on spirituality, religion and science, please send me a WhatsApp to +94 74 211 5011. You can also download my app, Golden Nuggets, free of cost from App Store or Google. Thank you for listening. I also want to add to you, if you want any counsel on this matter for yourself or your kids, or on the issue of brain-screen balance, please contact me at Colombo Empathic Learning Center. It's a free consultation. You can receive a consultation by sending a WhatsApp to +94 74 211 5011. Thank you.